We can't do it from one property. So what's our next step? Do we go, all right, let's wait from 500k, a 500k property that's growing at 8% a year. Do we go, and that's 40 grand in capital growth a year, and it's neutral. Do we, and this is purely an example, after 3 years' time, technically we've got 120k in equity, right? Do we go, and that's without adding any of your own savings over 3 full years? I would suggest people, if they want to really fast track this, is number one, buy in a higher growth location, of course, but also number two, add your own personal income as savings to your property portfolio. But let's just say conservatively, without adding anything in, you can buy a second property in 3 years for 120k, and say you buy another 500k property. That's round figures. So then you've got 2 properties growing for you, right? And then let's just say they're growing at, I know the first one, it's already been 3 years, so it's probably at like, what do we got? It's probably worth a bit more, but you've added that debt on. So let's just like put that aside. Say it's still neutral, not passive and not negatively geared. And then you've got another 500k asset. So you've got one 500k asset that you've just bought, and the first one that you bought for 500k, which is technically worth like around 600-ish k probably now. After that 3 years, you've got a 600k property growing at 8%, and then you get a 500k property growing at 8%. So if you do those figures, this is how I like to think about it. I don't know if you do it differently, Sam, but like, so you've got 1.1, right, times 0.08, and this is being conservative. So you're getting 88 grand a year in capital growth, right, being conservative. So then you've got how many years, if you go 450 divided by 88,000,
5 or something.
Yeah, so it's like just under 5 years without you putting any extra money into it, right? That's big caveat. Like if you put more money into it, you can grow a lot faster, and we're using 8% growth rate. Typically, you get more when you use a good buyer's agent. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We can refer you to some that are not us ourselves that you can use, and so that's a path to get to a commercial property in 7 years' time, with buying 3 assets, 2 resis, and buying 1 commercial at the end of it, versus trying to buy a lot of resis at the start and waiting 10 plus years or 15 years before you can retire. So you understand, like, we're having a dig at these buyer's agents, the residential ones that just do residential, right? We recommend them to start off with. But think about your wealth journey independently, and move to different areas and assets that you can get you to your goals faster.
And that going full circle, commercial is not in everyone's goals either. So it depends on the individual.
Yeah.
But if you're like Jared and you're like, you're really pushing it to get that passive income side of it, because then it can round out your portfolio and you get good diversification, then commercial is an amazing vehicle to go down that path. And it's kind of like you can go and buy a whole bunch of residentials, but if you just wait those few years, allow the market to do that heavier lifting, and then it's getting you into a more of a more income generated investment, then it doesn't stop your residential journey there. It just adds fuel to the fire, because now banks are looking at the higher income that's coming in from your commercial and your 2 residentials and your household income, and then you can go further and further, because there's going to be a blockage after generally 3 to 4 residentials where you don't have the cash flow to service anymore. So people have to go and look for those higher income plays, and generally they start going into that commercial space or rooming houses. There's a lot of traps in that path where they've got the properties, they want more and more, they can't service it, they get a bit annoyed, and then they start looking for alternative strategies, and they go down a funnel of potentially someone who's not going to give them the right level of advice, because it's not they might not know the right journey, or they only know one product to push and they're pushing you somewhere where it may not be right for you.